Welcome to Counter-Hegemony. My name is Aaron Taus. I still remember very vividly my history lessons at school. Our teachers often talked about the Ottoman Empire, the Dutch Empire, the French Empire, or the British Empire. After World War II, however, the age of empire had seemingly come to a close. There was not a single mention of an American empire. Why is that? Is the United States actually an empire? And if so, why does hardly anyone talk about it? Let's take a closer look and find out. In 2012, Panitch and Sam Ginidin published this award-winning book. They argued that the United States is indeed an empire, and that the American state was the primary force behind the expansion of capitalism around the world after World War II. The authors hold that the United States established a new form of imperial rule with unprecedented features. First, the American empire is an informal empire. The United States refuses to acknowledge itself as such to its own citizens and to the rest of the world. Second, Panitch and Ginidin argue that the American empire is a non-territorial empire. It does not depend on territorial conquest and direct territorial rule. Its subject states are not colonies, but instead known as allies. Over the past decades, the United States has integrated most countries into a global power structure. At the very top, we find the staunchest US allies, Great Britain and Australia. The second layer is formed by the main NATO members in Europe, Canada, and close US allies in the Asia-Pacific, like Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and New Zealand. The third layer is made up of smaller NATO members and other allied countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. This pyramidal structure of the American empire makes territorial conquest, typical for European empires, superfluous. Apart from this international structure, the American empire draws from four interrelated power capabilities. First, its military power. The US is by far the world's biggest military spender. It runs over 800 military bases around the world and is the dominant force in surveillance, espionage, and cyber warfare. The second pillar of the American empire is its economic and financial power. The US is the country with the largest GDP worldwide, and the US dollar is by far the most dominant currency in global trade and financial transactions. It is the ultimate measure and guarantor of value under global capitalism. With the help of the IMF, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization, the United States has established an international free trade regime in the interest of global capital. To this, we must add the procedural control exercised through rating agencies and financial auditing firms closely linked to Wall Street and US capital. The third pillar of the American empire is its ideological and cultural power, the ability to attract and persuade. You could also call it soft power, if you will. The appeal of American culture, sound, image, values, and political ideals remain strong around the world. And finally, the fourth pillar of American empire, its informational power, the US leadership in information and communication technologies, its control of the physical internet, and its ability to collect, process, and disseminate information. So are Panitch and Ginidin right when they describe the United States as an informal and non-territorial empire? Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below. That does it for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and to share it with all your friends. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.